Many have asked me if there is a need for a specification of religion for the president of the transitional stage in Syria during the period of the constitutional declaration. My answer is no, unless there is an intention to kill Ahmad al-Sharaa and replace him with another Sunni president. The constitution is a completely different matter from the constitutional declaration, but there is confusion among legislators and media traders about the reality of the constitutional declaration. In short, it is a temporary text usually issued by a transitional authority, such as a military council, a revolutionary authority, or a temporary president, to serve as a constitutional reference during a limited transitional period of a year or a year and a half at most. What happened in Syria is that the military council loyal to Ahmad al-Sharaa appointed him as a transitional president, which is a natural matter. The second phase should be the constitutional declaration, and its purpose is only to 1. Protect the unity of the state and prevent chaos. 2. Respect ethnic and religious diversity and ensure peaceful coexistence. 3. Provide a clear roadmap for the transfer of power to a civil democratic rule, as demanded by the Syrian revolution. 4. Guarantee the basic rights and freedoms of all citizens. Legally, it is preferable to announce the constitutional declaration immediately after the appointment of the transitional authority, whether it be a temporary president, a military council, or a transitional body. The reason for this is that the constitutional declaration forms the legal framework that defines the powers and authorities of this transitional entity, Sharaa's government, and regulates the management of the state during the transitional period. One of the advantages of swiftly presenting the constitutional declaration at the moment of appointing the ruler is that it achieves legal clarity from the outset, prevents constitutional vacuum and chaos, defines the roadmap for the upcoming phase. The drawbacks of delaying the constitutional declaration for several months are: it leads to political and legal confusion. It creates a legal vacuum that allows the transitional authority to make decisions that are not constitutionally specified. It may increase tensions among political and societal forces. For this reason, we criticize the Ahmad al-Sharaa procedure represented by dissolving the constitution without a constitutional declaration, as it allowed the country to be in a state of chaos and presented varied ideas among Syrians regarding the nature of the state: Islamic, federal, decentralized, secular, civil. This is a mistake, as it fuels mistrust and exacerbates the problems in Syria, which is what is happening now with separatist, religious, and national tendencies. Also, leaking to Al Jazeera TV that the working team on the constitutional declaration declared Islam as the religion of the transitional phase president during the constitutional declaration is, in fact, absolute foolishness, as it indicates the legislator's intention to cooperate with one of the international or regional parties to assassinate Ahmad al-Sharaa and replace him with another president from the Sunni sect. Since he is one president for a simple phase, what is the need to specify his religion unless he wishes to continue ruling based on the constitutional declaration forever, which is also foolishness? I repeat that the constitutional declaration usually lasts from 1 year to a year and a half. For example, Tunisia, 2011. The constitutional declaration lasted less than a year, and the transition to form a new constitution occurred quickly. Portugal, 1974. After the fall of the dictatorship, a constitutional declaration was established for a temporary period, and free elections were held about a year later. As the duration extends, administrative failure becomes evident. For instance, Egypt, 2011 to 2013, the first constitutional declaration was issued immediately after the revolution, but it changed several times until the new constitution was ratified in 2014. Sudan, 2019 present, the constitutional declaration has lasted more than 4 years due to the complexities of the political scene and coups. Iraq, 2003-2005. After the fall of Saddam Hussein, the transitional constitutional declaration was in effect for 2 years before the permanent constitution was ratified. Considering the complexity of the Syrian scene and the multiplicity of political and ethnic parties, a duration of 1 to 2 years may be the most suitable, so that 1. A civilian transitional government is formed within 6 months. 2. A new constitution is ratified through an elected constituent assembly within a year. 3. Presidential and parliamentary elections are held within 18 to 24 months. For the current authority, or what is called the Constitutional Declaration Committee, Please benefit from the text we published regarding the draft constitutional declaration, as it is the most optimal, and avoid filler phrases and statements that create unrest in Syrian society. In brief, Syrians need to apply justice, dignity, freedom, and transparency based on the criteria of good governance. Below is the draft constitutional declaration text for Syria, proposed by a group of academics collaborating with our center. Article 1. The nature of the state. Syria is an independent, sovereign, unified state that is indivisible. The system of governance is temporarily transitional, aimed at transferring power to an elected civilian government. The state is committed to equality among all its citizens, regardless of race, religion, or gender. Article 2. The Transitional Authority. The Transitional Military Council shall manage the country's affairs for a period not exceeding 12 months. A civilian transitional government shall be formed within 2 months, including all components of Syrian society. Members of the Transitional Authority are prohibited from running for the first presidential or parliamentary elections after the transitional period. Article 3. Rights and freedoms. All citizens are equal before the law, and discrimination based on religion, race, or sect is prohibited. The state guarantees freedom of belief and the practice of religious rituals, provided they do not disrupt public order. Freedom of expression and the press are guaranteed, and repressive laws that limit these freedoms are prohibited. Article 4. Identity and religion. Syria is a civil state with an Arab and Islamic identity, respecting cultural and religious pluralism. Islam is the religion of the majority, while ensuring the rights of religious minorities without discrimination. Islamic law is a primary source of legislation, with respect for the principles of citizenship and equality. Article 5. The Transitional Period. A new constitution shall be drafted within 6 months by an elected constituent assembly. After the constitution is ratified, free elections shall be held under international and regional supervision. The Transitional Military Council shall be dissolved immediately upon the elected government assuming its duties. Article 6. National Reconciliation. A Transitional Justice Committee shall be established to investigate past crimes and violations, ensuring fair trials. A general amnesty shall be issued for political crimes that do not include war crimes and crimes against humanity. The state is committed to repatriating refugees and displaced persons and compensating the affected.